strategy wherein we want to draw a conclusion out of a population. But if you are going to look at it, since the population is a big number, so we want to minimize that number. So in minimizing that number from a population, we want only a group of people that will be a representative of that population, and this group of people out of that population will be known as your sample. So based on that concept, we define statistics as a mathematical method that draw conclusions about population based on parameters computed from the samples. So ano ba itong mga parameters na to that will be computed from your sample? So say for example for group number 1, so they want to determine patient perceptions on the current counseling services or counseling practices of community pharmacists in Libungan. So yung kanyang parameters doon will be the level of perception among patients on how pharmacies deliver this kind of practice, which is the counseling. So other than that, their level of accessibility to provide or to buy the needed medicines that is to treat their particular disorder or disease. So dalawa yon, that is the accessibility and the level of practice. That is what it meant but when I said parameter. Now for group number 1, if I may share again the title of group number 1, so public knowledge and perception. So pag the parameters here will be the knowledge and perception of the public for as long as they are 18 years old and above on the policies of vaccination. But they confine now that one in a particular area, and this time it is in San Francisco, Agusan del Sur. Okay, so anyone who is eligible to be vaccinated will be your respondents. But you don't want to you don't want to interview each and every one. So you will just get a representative of that sample. So that is why we have now that what we call sampling size. Okay, so in the sampling size, if you can still follow, you can actually use this one. Can I ask group number 1 if you have any idea of what will be your sampling research, what will be your sampling design? Ano yung sampling design niyo? Is it a probability sampling or non-probability sampling? Are you sure? Are you allowed to do the non-probability sampling design? Wait lang ha. Wait lang talaga. Sige, lakot ka? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so again, we are going to determine the sample size out of a given population. So I asked group number 1 if do you have any idea of how many number of eligible persons that can be vaccinated in San Francisco, Agusan del Sur. Group 1.
Non-probability sampling po, sir.
Are you sure that it is a non-probability sampling? Did you ask Sir Erwin if it is allowed? Based on our experience with Rockenshire last year and of course with St. Alexius, it is a probability sampling. That is, you are going to identify the total number of population in your area so that we can compute for the sample size. Anyway, so suppose it is not a non-probability sampling. Suppose it is a probability sampling. And if we want to determine now the sample size, you can actually make use of this program. Can you see this one? Can you see the RASOF sample size calculator? Wait lang. Bakit?